Hi students, so let's come back to next paper, and that is group 2 paper 10, cost and management, accounting and financial management. So uh, we have seen up till now four papers of the group 1, one paper of group 2, and now this is the another yet another paper in group 3. And sometimes it's very difficult to find the time also to do support to our students full day. You're busy with something or other, so could find the time yesterday and today. So I'm making these two videos, will be uploaded soon on my YouTube channel. So I was going through your this paper 10, uh, this paper 10, cost and management, accounting and financial management. If you ask me, uh, of course, I have learned these subjects, and I have passed this examination. I have taught these subjects for a number of years. So I feel that it's quite easy paper, or maybe because my what I told you, I've taught this paper for quite long. I've set many papers, question papers on this syllabus or this type of syllabus also. So uh, one of the very critical point which is there even in the taxation paper is what is there in the paper setter's mind that you have to read when you go through the question, because while going through the question you should be in a position that what a paper setter want to, wherever the paper setter want to set you a trap, he wants to catch you in a trap. Why? Because there are n number of techniques, there are n number of ways of solving the question. So if you do not know, especially in this paper, cost management and financial management, both are atypical to set the trap or to set the hurdle for you while solving the. So when you are reading the question, there itself your studies or your knowledge or your strength or your understanding should be that much that you should be in a position to find out where is the trap set by the by the paper setter or the question setter, whatever. So once you understand that this is the trap where a paper setter or a question setter has put you, and he might be wanting you to go fall into that trap and then catch you hold of that to reduce your marks. So understand from that point of view whenever you are reading your question, he will definitely set the trap. And when it comes to a section A, section B, section C, section D type of papers, where more or less the traps will be set in the section C and section D. So these traps you must avoid. You must realize, of course, I am not expecting that, out of those section C and section D papers or questions, wherever you have been difficulty level, what we call it as a difficulty level. So according to that difficulty level, not that every time you will solve that difficulty level, but the maximum you solve, maximum you get the marks. So the strategy for this paper, cost and management, is, of course, this is a general strategy, but especially you have to follow when you are appearing for this examination of cost and management in the month of December, that you have to first ensure that your section A and section B are closed at the earliest possible. So you have to ensure that you keep some time out of question A and question B also. So ensure that you give correct answer to question section A and section B. Section A is, of course, when I was going through your MTPs, MTP1, MTP2. So section A is, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of options, which is most likely to come. So there you have to apply your mind, and that would be, I'm expecting bit easier questions in section A. Of course, equally easier questions in section B also. But then again, I'm telling you, I have experience of teaching and putting the question paper, etc. So I have put up a lot of work on this area for students. So maybe I may be feeling that quite easy, but not exactly for you because you are doing it for the first time. So what I suggest is, don't rely only on this book, the study note. There are a number of good authors outside. I don't have any book right now. If I could find it, I have read the Tulsian, or I have read Saxena and Vashish. So these are excellent books. wherein you can go through those Ravi M. Kishore. So these are excellent books. You have to go through that. They pick up the problems from various professional courses, including your course, the older problems. So there is a collection of those problems, either straight problems which has come from the examination, or maybe there is some modification from the original problem like that, which could not find the place in examination, but those are been given to those authors to publish in their books. So that way you have to get into those books also, the reference books also, so that you are in a position, better position to solve these problems. And about the theory and everything, if you go through this syllabus, there is a lot of theory also and a lot of practical also. So if you ask me decision making tools, what is the theory in decision making tools? There is a lot of decision making, a lot of theory in decision making tools also. Cost and management accounting introduction is full of theory. Then budgetary and budgetary control, my favorite subject. So it's a very big and vast. There are a lot of theories in the budget and budgetary control. You will get a lot of questions in section and section. So in the examination, this syllabus also says 50-50 for financial management and cost and management accounting. So as for A, B, C, D, there is no bifurcation. I will not ask you to read this topic only for section A, that is section A. So for example, cost and management accounting introduction, as what all we know, it will come either in section A or section B. Most unlikely to come in section C and section D. There may be short notes. So you may get something out of short notes. So there is equal chance, introduction to financial management. So that will go more or less into section A, section B, or section D short notes as such. So you have to understand that you have to read those topics, you have to read those chapters from those perspective, those point of view, section A and section B point of view. I'll tell you that even in the section A, in fact, in the section B, when I was going through section B also, yes. So section B is also some of the questions, or mixture of very small type of questions which are also there in the section B. I'm expecting that to come in the section B also. I'm expecting that to come in the section B also. So there will be small kind of calculation, or small kind of some kind of application of some of the theory or whatever you have learned earlier. So that may occur in the section B also. So for this specific paper of paper 10, cost and management, financial management, you have to put more emphasis on those. Again, if you recall my discussion in the earlier paper, that is paper 9, about the formats and everything, that is also equally applicable, that is universally applicable everywhere, but then more applicable to paper 9, lesser, or I will say that more less emphasis on the paper 10, but then still there will be a lot of formats which will be already given to you. So you are very lucky. I was going through your MTP2, I saw that it has been kept blank. There are no answers which has been given in MTP2. So what I suggest, that if it is possible for you to solve those questions on the screen, or maybe you take the printout and then you try to solve it by hand and paper, that is on the paper and pen, so that you will have some glimpses of what is there in the examination pattern. Then you also have the practice platform, so you can go there and you can have some practice also. But then my point of saying is, once you have that format which has been given in the answer, so for example, when I was going through this question, question number 3A, section CMTP2, it says that direct material 4 per unit, direct labor 3 per unit, etc., etc. So it says that required selling price is equal to number of units to be sold to make the profit of rupees 10,000 is equal to, and the working note. So they have given working notes also. So in the working note, they have given straight away 3 columns, particulars per unit and amount. I mean, while solving the examination, I have to first apply my mind to take out what should be the format of the working note, whether there should be a working note or not. That is first question. Can I directly put the answer? If I am very good, if I have studied this subject very good, I will just write it on the calculator and then just write it down, and I'll say that I'm done. But then the institute wants you to write exactly what is there in the working notes also. So that working note, the table is also been provided to you. If I go ahead, there are a few more problems which I saw of the similar type. Yes, so here it is. So this problem is of the ratio analysis 5A and M2. From the following information, prepare summarized statement of assets and liabilities as on 31st March 2021. Cost of sales is 2, closing stock 8 times, working capital 3 lakhs, fixed assets to shareholders net worth 0.75. So I have solved a number of questions. I have set a number of questions also on this type of giving you the ratios and finding out the assets and liabilities. So if I go back to the answer, it says that there are liabilities 1, 2, 3, 4 columns has been given, or 4 rows has been given. So assets also 1, 2, 3, 4 rows has been given. So rupees. So inner column, outer column, total, everything is given to. So in the working notes also they have tried to find out computation of current assets and current liabilities, computation of stock, computation of share capital and fixed assets, and so on and so forth. So what I mean to say is that your creativity is bounded by that, but that will help you in the examination. That of course there is a different creativity also. The way I have studied it, I may not like it. What is the way the format has been given, or whatever the way they want me to calculate first working capital, current assets and current liabilities, and then shareholders fund, and so on and so forth. So I am not trained to do that. I am trained to do in a different way. I am trained into, say, first to find out, maybe I will say the computation of share capital and fixed asset. Don't ask me how it will come. But then I'm trained to do that first of computation of share capital and fixed assets first, and then later on I take the current assets and current liabilities. So I may get annoyed to see that why they want me to calculate first as current assets and why last at fixed assets, etc., etc. So um, that is also a creativity, that whatever the examiner want, the paper setter want, if I want to set, or I want to fix my numbers, my thought process, my training into that, then that is also a practical application. So we have to remember this. It is not exactly loss of creativity, but there is, on the other hand, there is some more creativity also, that whatever I have learned, whatever way I have done this, I have to fix up, I have to mold myself into that situation and present it the way paper setter want, the examiner want. So I think on the other hand, what I'm saying, that this creativity has been lost. There is a different way to have the creativity also. So all this picture coming together, there is equal opportunity for all the both the papers, both the sections A and section B in the syllabus, which should come in the question paper also, of section A, section B, section C, and section D. This is purely practical kind of a paper where you need to put a lot of efforts, read and learn a lot of reference books. Just don't rely on the syllabus. There are n number of lectures which are available on the YouTube. Say for example, if you take standard costing and variance analysis, so there are a number of lectures which are available on the YouTube, freely available on the YouTube. You need not be paying for those lectures. Of course, paid lectures are different. You can always opt for those whenever you feel so. But there are free lectures also available on the YouTube. So when you are traveling, you are going here and there. If you are working somewhere, then if there is some leisure work, or if the work is not of that importance, you can just put into your ears and then try to learn those lectures also, that what is standard costing, what is budgetary control. Especially in case of theory, part of that is also very critical. You can always grasp through that those kind of techniques which has been taught into this standard costing, budgetary control, decision making, and number of questions can be asked in the decision making. There is no limit into calculation of n number of decision makings which are there. If you go to financial management, working capital, cost of capital, capital structure, dividend decisions, leverage analysis, capital budgeting, investment decisions, so all these things are, according to me, you can always have some good reference books, and you can learn from those reference books which are there. And as well as you solve as many problems as possible. If you could get the study material of other professional exams or the non-professional exams, that also you obtain, because ultimately the more questions you solve, the more problems you solve from those reference books will increase your confidence. So this examination is nothing but of more or less of your practice. Practice makes the man and a woman also perfect. So make that practice, ensure to increase your confidence, and then appear for this examination. So whether it is section A, section B, section C, section D, doesn't matter to you, or maybe online, offline, pen and paper, oral exam, whatever is the exam, That doesn't matter to you if you have really studied well this problem. And again, remember my mantra that whenever you are solving any question in taxation, especially in taxation, of course it's applicable to all, but especially in taxation and cost management and the financial management kind of a paper, you have to read what is there in the mind of the paper setter, question setter, because that question setter will definitely put you under the trap. And I am telling you that maybe because of this kind of online examination where you will be given the format, those traps will be exposed or maybe disclosed to you that this is the trap. When there is a pen and paper exam, there is no there is no disclosure of that trap. You are definitely going to fall into that trap if you are not well studied, or if you go think as a normal person, okay, this is the way we solve it, and then there are some special things which are there, that you need to mold or you need to find it out. So for example, if you go to decision making, there are two ways of decision making, or there are two rankings which you need to do. So on the basis of contribution per unit of a say specific decision, and then contribution per unit of another decision. So if there are four products, then what you choose is a mixture of that 1, 2, 3, 4 ranking in the first option and the second option. So those kind of traps are set. You may think that okay, this is good enough to have the decision making, so 1, 2, 3, 4 make it and then solve the problem. Or maybe in the second you may think that this is the second option, so 1, 2, 3, 4 make it and solve the problem and say that I have done a decision and this will give the maximization of profit. But that is not the case. So if those kind of questions come in the question paper, they will directly show you that these are the tables, and then you will immediately strike that, oh yes, this is the table, this requires 1, 2, 3, 4, this requires 1, 2, 3, 4, and then my decision making. You may not recollect it at that point in time, but then while seeing those two tables, if you think what is the trap which has been set by the paper setter, then you will think, oh, these are the two tables which has been given, so I have to combine both the ranks together and find it out what is the best option. So that way you need to solve the problems. And of course that is quite advanced level of cost and management. I do not know whether intermediate level does, but you have to be prepared for this similar kind of paper setter trap which is there. So you have to go into the shoes of that paper setter or a question setter, and then understand that what a question setter or a paper setter wants from you. Of course, apart from theory questions, it is only for the practical questions. Even in the section A and section B, you have to go into the paper setter shoes, especially for this kind of, if there are some kind of calculations are involved or some kind of objective wherein some theory or some kind of calculations are involved, or some kind of techniques you need to use it. So there also you need to go into the shoes of the paper setter, question setter, and try to understand that what this question setter wants from me, or where is he going to deduct my marks. That if he's going to deduct my marks here, oh, this is the trap which has been set. So you have to think from those point of view while solving this question paper of cost and management and financial management. So I think I have given enough to you for this question paper. If you have any other queries related to this question paper or the syllabus and everything, you can definitely put in the comments. You can definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can definitely, I am a Central Council member, so anytime my phone number and email ID is available on the internet. I get a lot of phone calls, I get a lot of SMS and WhatsApp from students, but then preferably you ask related to the syllabus which is there. Again, I'm telling you what I've told earlier. I'm not into administration of examination, so I'm more pure of the person who is looking after the academics. I've taught into many colleges for 10, 12 years, so I know what is the paper setter's mind, how do they set the trap while setting the questions, how your question paper pattern will be helpful to you for these papers, for not all the papers like that. So those questions you can definitely ask to me. So nothing related to the administration of examination, I am not a part of it, so I will not be able to answer to that to your satisfaction, or to the your whatever is required level you want to have it like that. So let us go ahead, and my best wishes to you for this paper 10 of the intermediate, that is the second paper in the second group. Rest all papers also I'll cover in a very short period of time, so that you all can prepare for the next of the 15, 20, 30 days, whatever are remaining for the examination. My best wishes to you. Thank you so much.